Okay, so what's going on, guys? Geo from Casa Kota here to talk to you today about how to think about your website in terms of your marketing strategy. So what does that mean? So basically, here's the thing that I notice with a lot of local businesses, right? Like a local business will get their website up and running, and it only serves the purpose to list their name, address, and phone number. But here's the problem. Listing your name, address, and phone number is good for a business directory. It is not good for your website. Your website should serve the purpose to convert any traffic that arrives to it. If you're a gardener, if you're a landscaper, if you're a web designer, the whole point should be to convert your traffic. But the greater question is, how do you actually get that traffic? So today, that's kind of what I want to go over. It's two ways to think about how you can generate traffic to your website, because how you generate traffic to your website could be different depending on what stage of your business you're in. And I just kind of wanted to cover the two ways to think about it, so that way you're covered. So let's get into it. Okay, so basically, obviously, like what we want to do is kind of take our website, right, and we want to think of it in two parts. But the first part is Centerpiece, right? So we want to think about our website as a centerpiece for our marketing strategy. So what does that mean? That really would so for example, we have our website here, right? And what we're doing is we're getting traffic directly to the website. That means our website is working for us to generate traffic directly. So that means that our website should have the right content and should have all the necessary parts, so that way we can draw traffic directly to that website. That means making sure that we have the right keywords, that our Google My Business is listed correctly. Technically, it's part of the second thing that I'm going to talk about, but everything is catered really around the website. That's like the core point, right? So what are some of the benefits of this? Well, the benefit is that it's completely free. It's completely free to put content on your website, as long as it's not like premium content from a third party, right? The next thing is that it's relatively easy to do. So why is it relatively easy? Well, the content that you should be posting is relevant to your own industry. So if, for example, you're a doctor, a doctor is going to post content related to, medical conditions and how to diagnose them, and, whatever sort of research he's working on. And what that does is it conveys knowledge and it conveys authority. Knowledge, because anybody who comes to the website might actually learn something, and authority, because they are presenting themselves as an authority figure to actually speak on those topics, right? But there are some downsides to this, but that's it. It's not to say that it's not worth it, right? So some of those downsides include the fact that, first of all, it takes a lot of time. So, you might hear this a lot when you're doing SEO, is that, your results are not instantaneous. They're going to take time, right? Especially if you want to kind of rank number one for a keyword that's competitive. That's not something that happens overnight, right? The next thing is that even though I said it's relatively easy, it does take, it does take a good amount of effort. Reason being is that, when you're trying to rank on Google, you're going against websites all over the world that might try to rank for whatever keyword you're doing. So it's really important to be aware of that, However, at the same time, it's free traffic, it's relatively easy, and it's organic, right? So, it's got its pros and cons, but it's a very good way to think about, what you're doing. So the next thing to think about is when your website is a component of your marketing strategy. So what does that mean? Well, we have our website right here, right? So we've got our website here, and now we're going to put here, we have Facebook ads, and then we have over here Google ads, right? So we have Google ads. Okay, so when your website is a component of your marketing strategy, that means that the website is not necessarily getting traffic. Now, if you've set up if you were originally on a Centerpiece kind of model, you should have traffic that goes directly to your website, right? But now, if you're using it as a component strategy, well, now you're getting traffic from paid sources, right? That means that now Facebook ads is bringing you traffic, and now, Google ads is bringing you traffic, right? So the main reasons for this is that, with your, you're now getting sources of traffic from third parties that are just basically platforms that are specifically designed to get you the best quality traffic in relation to whatever it is that you're selling, whether that's a product, a service, whatever it is, right? So what are the pros of this? Well, the pros might be that it's more broad, right? So when you're using Google ads and when you're using Facebook ads, you have access to anybody that has a Facebook account or a Google account, which is pretty much most of the world, right? So it's pretty broad. Additionally, it allows you to do specific targeting, which is one of the major things why all ad agencies use Facebook ads and Google ads. It allows you to be very picky and selective with who you're targeting. So for example, if I'm trying to target people for a chiropractor, I'm not going to want people that, maybe are interested in like gaming, right? Like, I mean, maybe you could, right? My posture's shit. But what I'm saying is that you can target people that are more likely to view an interest of back pain, right? Like that's an actual interest on Facebook, so you can look up back pain and target to them specifically. Same thing for Google ads, right? So it allows you to do specific targeting. And maybe men are more prone to back pain, and maybe they're also more likely to click on ads, right? Within the 24 to 35 age range, right? So it allows you to be super niche focused, and it allows you to even target specific regions. But even though this is like a great thing, it does come with some cons. For example, the cost. So it costs a lot of money to start running ads. Okay, it's going to cost close to. For a successful marketing campaign, you could do it for maybe under 500, but it's very unlikely. I think you'd have to start with 1,000, and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a lot of small businesses to try and stomach, so that way they can actually turn a profit, right? And by the way, one quick pro, I have both in my head, is that it's instant, right? So you can make instant money. You can start seeing instant results when you start using these services, right? But even though it's instant, there's a catch-22, which brings me to the next con. Requires data. So what does that mean? That means if you are, in the process of running a campaign, say you put $300 in, and it only gives you $250. Does that mean that it doesn't work? No. It means that your targeting was off. It means that your creative was off. It means whatever you were doing in your actual marketing campaign was off. So now you have to go and optimize, and say the next time you optimize, you actually make $350. Well, you're still not in the green. You're actually break even right now, right? And maybe you did that for each month. So in the first month you did $300, you lost $50. Second month you did $350. Now you're just break even. And on the third month, now you get $400, which means you made $100, right? So basically what it is that you need to refine your strategy, and the only way you do that is by spending money and understanding what works and what doesn't. And that is called gathering data, because you will get so many insights into what works and what doesn't from a marketing perspective that you can now more accurately plan out your marketing strategy. And then the last con is that there's a learning curve, right? It's not like you could just pick up Facebook ads tomorrow and start running a profitable campaign, right? Like you still need to learn it. And it's a costly thing to learn. If you've never used it before, it might cost a lot of money, and it's going to be very stressful because you're losing a lot of money all in the effort to try and make more money, right? So this strategy right here, this component strategy, is really just if you are if you're already established. Like if you already did the Centerpiece model and you already have, say, like 3,000 or anywhere between 1,000 to 3,000 organic visits per month, and then you decide to do this model where now you're taking in paid traffic. First of all, you're making money from the organic traffic that you can now fund experimentation to try and scale. The biggest thing about this is this allows scale. It allows quick scale too. Like if you know everything about your demographic all through your organic outreach methods, then basically you're going to be able to use these these platforms and these different marketing tactics. That way you can totally excel your marketing strategy and get more money in a shorter period of time. But if you are starting out, I say you do this. You do the Centerpiece model and you figure out what works, what doesn't, and once you have that, then you can start focusing on more experimental methods of marketing, which would be Facebook ads, Google ads, because there's a lot involved with it. So I hope this helps you, and more importantly, The reason I wanted to bring this up is because a lot of businesses don't understand this. So if you're trying to sell website designs, you kind of have to go over this. You have to let them know. You have to say, listen, I can do as much as I can to get you this organic traffic, but it still requires a lot of work where you are actually able to get organic traffic that will make you a lot of money. If it's a gardener, you're going to want to make sure that they're the top gardener in whatever area they're in. And so you want to make sure that their SEO is through the roof versus, hey, why don't we just spend $1,000 to try and get you some clients? Like, it's not going to make sense to them. But if you can get them on this and basically tell them, hey, we're gonna get you content, effectively and organically, then you can take them down this road, which I think a lot of people skip this because this is more instantaneous, and we're an instantaneous generation. It is what it is. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that other fun stuff. And I will talk to you later. I hope this was useful. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.